Hello and welcome to 10-Minute Tips. This 10-minute tip will be covering instructor presence using the announcements in Blackboard. To get started, I'm going to explain some of the ways that you can use announcements, and then I will walk you through a course that I have taught, showing you some of the different announcements that I have used so that you have some concrete examples. And then I will finish off the 10 minutes by actually walking you through Blackboard and showing you how to use some of the tools to get the announcements that I have. So I'm going to share my screen. So one of the first reasons or ways that you can use the announcements is as a calendar of sorts. This is where you could give students reminders about upcoming due dates. You could let them know about any changes to due dates that they need to be aware of. If you have a big final project that students should be working on throughout the term or semester, you could use the announcements to give them kind of reminders and updates on which part of the project they should be on. You can use it to post supplemental content, so you know that there is certain content that you know students must read in order to be successful in the course. But say you come across a good website, an article, a current event, maybe a new video that students don't absolutely have to watch, but it relates to the topic for that unit or week, and you want to share it with students. The announcements is a great place to do that, so that if a student has interest in that topic, they can learn more. And it's an area where you can share some of that nice to know, but not crucial information. Announcements are great for giving feedback. For example, I use this to give a recap of the discussion boards for the week. I not only participate actively in the discussion boards, but then at the end of the discussion, I like to provide a recap where I call out what certain students said and affirm that they were all on track and that they all had something valuable to contribute, which I find then in the next discussion encourages them to participate more actively, because I know that I really am paying attention to what they're saying and find value in that. You can also use it to give feedback, overall feedback. So if you're grading papers or grading some other assignments, or you see that students have gotten off track and you want to give more of a global announcement, you could use the announcements then to share information in that way. Announcements are a great way for you to humanize your course, to show students who you are, that is not just kind of a robot or the computer talking to them, but that there is a real instructor on the other end. Oftentimes instructors are given a course that is already built out and they don't have a lot of flexibility in what they can change in the course. However, they can use the announcements again to share their personality. That can be through videos, images. You can share a little bit about your family maybe, or a conference that you've gone to, or a particular passion that you have related to the topic or subject that you're teaching. One question that a lot of instructors ask is, how often should they be posting announcements? There is no hard and fast rule. Just keep in mind that students are busy, and if you overuse the announcements, there's a good tendency that they'll stop paying attention. If you keep using them in the same way, they might not have that interest level as well, so maybe mix it up and have some different kinds of announcements. For a 8-week accelerated course, I do tend to post announcements 2 to 3 times a week, just because the course is moving quickly and I'm needing to give feedback. I'm needing to share some new resources that I found, and also providing overviews of what's to come. In a more traditional 16-week course, I try to minimize it to just twice a week, because I know students are really only in the course on the weekends. So that is a recap of how you can use announcements. I'm now going to take you into one of my past courses and show you some of the announcements that I like to post. One of my first announcements that I post before the term even starts is a Wordle, where I just put all their names in to again personalize the course and welcome each of them individually. We're at the same time only posting one announcement. I then post an announcement as well for the introduction to the course. I include a link to the course overview video that I've made, walking them through the course, some of the big assignments, and sharing a little bit about myself, and a welcome letter, and an instructor introduction. I also like to include a picture where applicable, just to break up the white space and again share with students that I am kind of a real person. I then post another announcement on the first day of the course, just reminding them that the course is open and that they should now be actively working on the materials in the course. Here you can see that I was letting them know about an upcoming Adobe Connect session that I was going to be holding. And then I also like in this first announcement here to link them to the Getting Started, because that's where I have my syllabus and some additional information about the course, and that helps them to get moving directly into the course. You'll notice that I try to mix up the colors. I include lots of links. Again, here's a recap that I have of a discussion where I'm calling out kind of specific students. Another Adobe Connect session that I gave with a link to the recording, the PowerPoint, and then some additional resources that now they can go and check out. I like to include YouTube videos from time to time. I don't necessarily like the way that I look in those YouTube videos, but I know that students appreciate, again, that human element. So you'll see that I use pictures. Here's a picture of my dog, again, bringing in that human element, while at the same time keeping the content of the overall announcement relevant to the course. So now in our last few minutes, I'm going to dive into creating an announcement. Here I have my Create Announcement button. If you need to know more about creating an announcement, please check out the Blackboard help videos under the Resources tab. So the first thing you're going to want to do is give your announcement a name. I'm not feeling very unique right now, so I'm going to call it a demo announcement. Like I pointed out earlier, I do like to change the color of these around, just to let students know that it's a new announcement maybe since the last time they were in the course, and color helps to distinguish that. So you'll see once I click submit that it appeared there. A lot of times instructors are tempted to just write out a list of items. One way that you can take it to the next level is to use a bulleted list. So I'm going to put my cursor at the start, tab down, and use this icon to bullet. Helps to break up the text and make it a little bit easier to read. Some additional things that you can do is you can include an image with this icon right here. You'll see it looks like a little picture. If you click on that, it will pop up this new window where I can now browse my computer. I can go to my pictures. I can go to some sample pictures, select, say, the desert. Give it some time, you'll see that it then loads. Blackboard likes to load pictures at the full size. So if you are using big images, I like to go ahead and toggle to the Appearance tab and go ahead and just scale down to 150 pixels as my biggest, sometimes 200, but I find 150 keeps it nice and small. Click Insert, Accept, and here you'll see that now I have a nifty little picture that I've added. Some other components that you can add are attachments. So earlier I said that I shared a PowerPoint with students. Click the attach icon. You can browse your computer, or if you already have it in the course, you can browse course. I'm guessing I already have something in my course, so I'm going to browse my course. Yep, here are the PowerPoints that I shared. Select it from the list. You'll see that you can select more than one. Select yours. Go ahead and click Submit. I like to change the name from the original file name to something that students will understand. Provide alt text so that screen readers can read it successfully, and then submit. And now you'll see here is my attachment. You can also do mashups. So you can search Flickr or YouTube and include, say, YouTube videos. So I like to search for Tigger. You can then preview the video, or if you knew the exact name, you could go ahead and type it in. Select, click Submit after reviewing all your options, and then you'll see that now I have a video on the screen. And then the last thing I want to show you just very quickly with my last few seconds of time here is that you can record videos of yourself directly from within Blackboard. Again, if you want help on how to do this, please go to the Blackboard How-To videos under the Resources tab. And here you can see me in my living room recording. Record your message, stop recording. You'll then click continue. It does save as an unlisted video, which is nice because then the general public does not have access to it, but your students will be able to view it because you've linked directly to it. Some last things to cover in our last few seconds is date restrictions. So a lot of times if I have some content that I want to share and it's not quite to that point of the course, I'll date restrict it to display after that date when we'll reach the content, and then I know that my announcement is already there and waiting for me, which is really nice because then I don't have to remember to come in 3 weeks later and post, say, that article that I found, but I know that it'll automatically appear on, say, March 1st. So that's all I have for tonight's 10-minute tips. I hope you enjoyed learning more about how you can increase instructor presence using Blackboard announcements.